Hello chess lovers, Suren here with another fascinating game. As you remember previously, I have already published a game where Garry Kasparov managed to beat Vasilin Topalov without even moving his queen. Similar practice is very rare at the top level, but here is another example where this time Magnus Carlsen is managing to beat Viswanathan Anand without even touching his queen. This game was played in round 9 during 2013 Anand Carlsen World Championship Match. Let's see what happened on the board. Anand had white pieces and he opened up with d4. In the previous games of the match, Anand was always choosing e4, but this time he decided to rely on d4. And after the game he said, "I should have played d4 from the start. That was one of my greatest mistakes in my preparation." Carlsen responded with knight f6, c4 e6, knight c3, bishop b4. Carlsen goes for Nimzo-Indian defense, and against it Anand chose a very sharp f3 move. This is the Saemisch variation, which allows white to gain nice attacking chances. With this move, white is taking under control the e4 square and wants to establish a massive center. That's why Carlsen instantly responded with d5, a3, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, c5, c takes d5, e takes d5, e3, and c4. This is a move which Carlsen's previous trainer Simen Agdestein had already played at the start of the year and even revealed after the game that the Norwegian national team had recently been looking into this variation. So definitely this move didn't take Anand by surprise. Anand responded with knight e2, knight c6 and g4. Anand is playing very aggressively and let's see what's going to happen next. Carlsen castled kingside, bishop g2, knight a5. As black is controlling this b3 square, Carlsen's knight is hurrying to find an outpost. Here Anand castled kingside, knight b3, rook a2 and b5. The plans of both players is obvious. White will attack on the king side while black will counterattack on the queen side. But let's see who will be faster. Knight g3, a5, g5, knight e8 and e4. After which Carlsen captured on c1 in order not to allow white's dark squared bishop to get activated. Queen takes c1, rook a6, e5, knight c7, f4. White's attack looks scary, right? b4, a takes b4, a takes b4, rook takes a6, knight takes a6 and f5. White's position looks very promising, right? And I have to tell you that after the game Carlsen admitted that he was scared, and he even added basically all the time the white pawns looked really menacing, but at the same time I was trying to calculate as well as I could and I couldn't find a forced mate. Can you imagine? Carlsen was already looking for a forced mate. Here we have b3. In return to white monsters, black is getting a passed pawn on the b file, queen f4. Meanwhile Anand is bringing his queen on the king side and Carlsen's knight is hurrying back. Later the knight will be very useful when repelling the attack. f6, g6, queen h4. Anand wants to make use of the weakened dark squares and there it goes, the knight is just in time. Queen h6. By freeing this h4 square, Anand wants to bring his rook on the h file. Meanwhile, Carlsen's b-pawn is advancing forward and a mind-blowing decision by Anand, rook f4. Anand allows Carlsen to queen the b-pawn for free. This is a nice and amazing decision and we have it, b1 queen. Moreover, the queen appears on the board with a check. So far so good. Anand was playing an excellent chess. Moreover, I have to tell you that both players were nearly making Angin's first choice moves, but it was in here that Anand got entangled in his own calculations and made a terrible mistake and he played knight f1 and after queen e1 he resigned. The problem with this knight f1 is that white needed the knight on g3 in order to block the e1 h4 diagonal. Now if rook h4 then simply queen takes h4 and black is winning. Black is a rook up. But let's go back and see what's the best response to b1 queen. In here actually white should go for bishop f1, and already queen e1 has no meaning because the e1 h4 diagonal is blocked by white knight. But in here black still has a defensive resource and can play queen d1, and if rook h4 then black can give back the newly born queen. If knight takes h5 then g takes h5, and if rook takes h5 then this time black bishop is managing to cover the h7 square. If g6 then bishop takes g6, and if rook g5 with the idea of h4 h5 then black can capture on f6, and then if rook takes d5 then queen f3, rook c5, queen takes c3. This is one of the possible lines, after which the players have equal chances. This will definitely end up in a draw. But in our game, as I've already mentioned, after b1 queen, Anand played knight f1, and after queen e1 he resigned. A very unique game where Carlsen managed to beat his fierce opponent without even touching his queen. In the end, a nice puzzle for you, which is taken from Magnus Carlsen's game. Please take a look at this position and try to find the winning move for black. I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you. Consider checking them out as well. I will see you in my next video. Take care.